The city streets pulsed with life. A kaleidoscope of neon lights reflecting off the wet pavement as Detective Jameson stood face to face with his arch-nemesis, the enigmatic and ruthless Victor Vex. The air was heavy with the smell of rain and smoke, a constant reminder of the city's dark underbelly. Jameson's eyes narrowed as Vex sneered, his voice low and menacing. "You'll never stop it, Jameson. The prophecy will be fulfilled, and the city will burn." Jameson's grip on his gun tightened, his mind racing with the implications. The prophecy, an ancient and forbidden text, spoke of a great calamity that would consume the city, leaving nothing but ash and ruin in its wake. Jameson had been tracking Vex for months, following a trail of cryptic clues and whispered rumors. But he had never been able to pinpoint the exact nature of the prophecy. Now, as he stood before Vex, he knew he was running out of time. Vex vanished into the night, leaving Jameson with more questions than answers. He knew he had to act fast, to gather his team and start searching for any lead that might take him to the heart of the prophecy. He made his way to the precinct, his mind racing with possibilities. As he burst through the doors, he was greeted by the familiar faces of his team. Rachel, a brilliant hacker, and Mike, a seasoned veteran of the force. Together, they pored over the evidence, searching for any hint of what Vex had planned. The hours ticked by, each one bringing them closer to the deadline. Jameson's team worked tirelessly, following every lead, every hint, every rumor. But the more they uncovered, the more they realized the true extent of Vex's plan. The prophecy was not just a simple disaster, it was a catastrophic event that would destroy the very fabric of the city. Jameson's team was racing against time, and they were running out of options. As the clock struck midnight, Jameson's team finally uncovered the location of the prophecy's focal point, an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of the city. They arrived just as Vex was about to initiate the ritual, his eyes glowing with an otherworldly energy. Jameson knew he had to act fast. He couldn't let Vex fulfill the prophecy. With a fierce determination, he charged forward, his gun drawn. The battle was intense, with bullets flying and the sound of shattering glass filling the air. Jameson's team fought bravely, but they were outnumbered and outgunned. Just as all seemed lost, Jameson managed to grab Vex, pinning him to the ground. The ritual was halted, the prophecy foiled. But as Jameson looked into Vex's eyes, he saw something that chilled him to the bone, a glimmer of respect, of admiration. "You're a worthy adversary, Jameson," Vex whispered, a hint of a smile playing on his lips. "But you'll never be able to stop the true enemy. The city will always be a battleground, and you'll always be fighting a losing war." Jameson's grip on Vex's throat tightened. But he knew he couldn't kill him. Not yet. He needed answers, and Vex was the only one who could provide them. As the night wore on, Jameson's team took Vex into custody. But Jameson knew that this was far from over. The prophecy may have been foiled, but the true enemy was still out there, waiting in the shadows. Jameson realized that he had been playing into Vex's hands all along. That the prophecy was just a distraction from the real issue. He felt a sense of unease, a growing feeling that he was trapped in a never-ending cycle of violence and fear. As he walked away from the warehouse, the city lights blurring together in a kaleidoscope of color, Jameson knew that he had to make a choice. He could continue down this path, fighting a war that he would never win. Or he could walk away, leave the city and its darkness behind. The thought was tempting, but he knew it wouldn't be easy. He would have to leave behind everything he had ever known, everyone he had ever loved. Jameson took a deep breath, the cool night air filling his lungs. He knew what he had to do. With a sense of resolve, he turned his back on the city, on the prophecy, on the war. He walked away, into the unknown, leaving behind the only life he had ever known. The city lights faded into the distance, a reminder of the darkness he had left behind.